happening? Hello, beautiful people and thugs. Welcome into the Miss Best Reviews channel. We have our fabulous co-host, James, from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Thank you for being here today, James.
Thank you for having me.
Be sure you guys to subscribe to James's channel, like the video, all of those good things. We do lots of recaps together on his channel as well, especially Housewives franchises. He has Potomac, he has Salt Lake City, he has Atlanta. He does Married to Medicine. He does a lot of different shows, so be sure to tune in. But we're here to discuss these heifers, the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know Bazoma lost her home in the LA fires, so though people have money and are rich, it's not about the money. Sometimes it's memories that are irreplaceable. So prayers to anybody in Southern California is struggling and going through it with the wildfires. And I hope y'all get more of your stimulus checks, because $720 in California, or however much they got, is the equivalent of $5.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's just crazy that's even the only thing that's being offered to them. Like, crazy.
Yeah, well, we already paying. We're going to have to pay that back somehow, just like they gave them those stimulus checks during COVID. And I said it when I got it. I said, we're going to have to pay this back somehow. And we are. Inflation. But this episode of the Housewives of Beverly Hills was titled What the Chuck, season 14, episode 7. Let's get into it, beautiful people. So we pick up from Dorit hollering at Kyle and putting Kyle right in her place with the foot and neck. And she tells Kyle, she's like, I'm not comfortable with you texting PK. And Kyle gets animated and yells obnoxiously, like, what do you fucking want from me? And I'm just like, you have some audacity, Kyle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Because Kyle knows, vile Kyle knows that if anybody else did the stuff that she does, like, to her, she would have a problem with it, because it's Dorit. It's not. And I don't even like Dorit, but in this situation, Dorit is not wrong. So no. Kyle does say that she's not going to send nothing else to PK and ask Dorit again, what more do you want from me? Do you have what you want? Yo. Welcome in, Shaddy. Thank you for supporting all of these lives. So it makes no sense. I felt like Kyle was rude. She was condescending. She was aggressive and passive aggressive all at once. And she was just selfish in her whole response. But Kyle says in a confessional, and I wasn't surprised, and it proves James's point about Kyle being pretentious. Dorit is only trying to make me look bad because we just made peace. You made peace without her knowing you was talking to the man that she separated from.
You left out specific details. And then, hi, Naya. And then when push comes to shove, now that there's more and she's finding out more, now you want to say that she's making you look bad when you withheld information from her that may have made her make a different decision. And I can't believe that Kyle is making me stand up for Dorit right now. Out of all people, right. Kyle, really? Right.
But we've also said for years, even prior to being on YouTube, like, there will be a demise to that friendship. And LVP said it when she left too. She's like,
absolutely. We all know it.
We already know. It's just the hot mess express. But Garcelle interrupts the whole situation, and she asks Doris, like, well, Dorit, how did you learn that Kyle was even talking to PK? Which was actually a really good question. I know people don't, Garcelle be in other people's business without sharing much of her own, but at the very least, she's asking the right questions. And this is where we learn that Dorit, she says she asked, and that's how she found out. I was like, that's a strange thing to suddenly ask. What gave you the inkling to ask? But okay, Dorit. So then Dorit looks at Garcelle, because Garcelle is like, well, what was going on with you two? Because before everything went sour, it seems like you were getting ready to open up to us about what you're going through with PK, which I felt like was a good point as well, just off the strength of, one, it's true. Two, you're sitting here hollering and going off on people, Dorit, because you want to feel supported. Now someone's trying to support you, and your response is it really genuine? And she says to the confessional, well, Garcelle has been, hasn't cared to get to know me more for seasons, for 2 years. Now suddenly you care? Dorit, you're full of it. Regardless of what you're going through right now, I agree with your reaction to Kyle. I don't agree with it to Garcelle. Now, Garcelle has kept, in my opinion, a beef going that could have died a while ago. However, Garcelle has a valid reason to not like or trust Dorit. Dorit has thrown microaggressions, made racially insensitive comments,
Mhm.
publicly, privately, all of those things. Dorit has been incredibly selfish. She has not cared to be respectful or kind to any of these women because she was renting a room in Kyle's anus and urethra. So I'm just saying, Dorit being mad at Kyle makes sense. But when it comes to the rest of the ladies, you cannot expect for them to have empathy and sympathy for you when you've been a bitch to them and slightly racist for several seasons. And I don't trust Dorit's friendship with Bose. Nobody else wants to deal with her. If she wasn't dealing with this separation, nobody on this cast would be dealing with her. That's the only reason Bravo let her to come back. So Dorit, though, is in the right place when coming at Kyle. It's like, okay, you get what you want. Now you still crying. So Garcelle was funny because she's like, what, am I going to get it next? And I was cracking up like, not scared of you. And two, I don't care if you like me or not, but I did try and kept it moving. But Garcelle's timing was bad. Like, I can definitely agree with that. Her timing was bad. It was just bad. And Dorit ends up leaving. She gets tired of it. Like, I could tell she was just pissed off. She lunged at Kyle. So she left. And I think that was the right thing for her to do. And when she leaves, Bose tries to defend Dorit. And, everything that they kind of say, Bose tries to counteract. Like, well, maybe her perspective has changed. Is she not allowed to change how she feels? Which Bose actually did make a good point. I want to acknowledge that. Bose made a very good point. Some of the things I like, some of the things I would do, some of the things I agreed with or feel are much different today than they are a year ago or 2 years ago. People can change their opinions of things. That's why you never tell people how to feel. However, comma, at the same time, Bose has a clear bias for Dorit. Because I understand Dorit's tried to get to know you, but she's only getting to know you because none of these other women want to deal with her. Don't you think, Bose, you should also ask the question of, well, why is it that all these people have a problem with Dorit? If it was just Sutton and Garcelle, fine. But
No, even if it was just Sutton and Garcelle, I feel like, to me, I would still want to know the history of why you feel so strongly. And I'm not picking up that same vibe from her, getting to know her myself. Is there something that I need to pay close attention to? Is there something that she did that was beyond repair? Like, I would want to ask these questions because I'd have to know all of these ladies. It would be different if Bose came in as Dorit's friend and she's friend of the show. Yes, her loyalty should line with Dorit, but she's coming on as a full cast member, having to get to know all of these ladies, and it just doesn't look right with her spending so much time getting to know one and then solely just defending her at all costs at the expense of the other ladies when she doesn't know the full story. That's how I feel.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's actually a good point to bring up because you shouldn't just be commenting and defending someone without understanding what you're defending. That's a
Right.
very very good point to bring up. It makes a lot of sense. Now the next day, Kyle and Sutton meet up, and Kyle admits that she got mad and blacked out, and that's why her her vein was popping out her forehead and all that crazy stuff. And Sutton made the best point that anyone has made while being on the Housewives, aside from Camille. And Sutton is not afraid to say it because she's like, sue me, I could pay you. Don't care, I don't care. Kyle's pretentious. She's still gonna be up Sutton's ass. But Sutton makes the point that Kyle gets upset when Kyle's explaining how she feels about what happened with Dorit. She's like, Kyle gets mad whenever people stand up to her. It's a fact. She's not used to people not kissing her ass. And I definitely see that. I see the dynamic. Her sister has said this. We keep hearing this, and Kyle keeps trying to find ways to make herself look innocent or defend her character when it's like, you cannot defend what you are. This is just who you are, Kyle. Anytime somebody stands up to you and they are within their right to do so, Kyle goes off, gets mad, plays victim, acts like she doesn't understand what she's done. I've been a great person, a great friend. Sutton, she hit the nail perfectly, right in the center. She got that right because Kyle does get upset when people stand up to her. And I feel like Kyle chooses, specifically related to friends on this show, who will do what she wants, do what she says, or that need her more than she needs them. I feel like her real friends we will never see on this show. So random. Dia Roxanne, I know which Chuck E. Cheese they went to. It's close to Compton. I would imagine. I can't see people in Beverly Hills taking their kids to Chuck E. Cheese. I just can't see that. I can't. And Chuck E. Cheese pizza, by the way, is good. To this day, I will eat it.
You know what's funny? I didn't think Chuck E. Cheese was still open
Hmm.
because they closed all the ones here in Phoenix. So that's why I was like, Chuck E. Cheese is still open. Okay.
There's a few of them still throughout California, but a lot of them have closed. But then, like, especially here in the Bay Area, they're all still here, I believe, except for like one.
No, the one in Florida, I went to the one when I was living in Florida. It was really good. And it was so much nostalgia. I was so shocked that Chuck E. Cheese was there. So, because we don't have a lot of the same restaurants in Florida as we do here in the West Coast. So the fact that I
Hmm.
saw Chuck E. Cheese and I had to try the Church's chicken out there. It was kind of like a stigma where I had to try different things and see how it tastes. But yeah, Chuck E. Cheese is good.
I love Church's chicken, by the way. I'll eat that.
Oh, in Florida, baby, Auntie and them in that kitchen know what they doing. I ain't never wanted a two-piece and a biscuit with a jalapeno pepper so much in all my life. And I got to come to Phoenix where it's greasy.
Try to tell you that pizza be good, but um, it is good. See, I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good. Now I want pizza. I'm gonna have to talk to the husband and see what I can do because I don't want to pay for it. Um, but Sutton says that in the confessional. I agreed with that, and Kyle says to Sutton and Garcelle, because Garcelle ends up joining in, that she called Mauricio and he told her that PK is having a hard time. And she was upset when talking to Garcelle and Sutton about this because she was like, I can't go and support him because of her. Yeah, bitch, you can't. Why are you mad
No,
that you can't support
exactly.
him?
It doesn't matter what he's going through. Send him his love through your husband, and that's how that works.
Send them some flowers like you did for Bose later.
You
Like,
ain't gotta
why?
do that. No, send whatever you need to send him through your husband and tell your husband that this is from both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
it's
what I
not
don't
gonna
understand. And you're still FaceTiming your husband, but you're supposed to be separated. I feel like they gonna be one of them couples that never divorce and just live in separate houses.
yeah.
I really
Like
do.
Chris Jenner and Bruce did for a long time.
Yep.
How they was living separately until what happened to him. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I really think that's what's gonna happen because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But here's what I caught. I said Kyle gonna get caught in all sorts of lies. She's getting sloppy because if you are upset because you can't support PK having a hard time, then that means that your friendship is more than reels and memes. I have friendships that are like literally like mostly social media, like reels and memes. And then if we do get together in person, we sip wine and laugh at reels and memes, and that's okay. But if you are actually concerned and this viscerally upset, like you clearly care, and it's more than just a light friendship. And something Dorit says later on, I think was important. It's like her hiding it. That's what's weird. Like, why do you feel the need not to mention that? Because Kyle understands girl code. She just chooses not to abide by it. That's what I'm getting. Do you feel differently, James?
No, I feel the same. I feel like it's more than just girl code. I feel like Kyle feels like she can do what she want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's supposed to confront her or check her on it because she's Kyle. I think that that's what we're really dealing with. I don't think it's a matter of girl code or anything. I think Kyle just wants to do what Kyle wants to do because for years Kyle's been able to get away with what she wants to do.
Mm. I can agree with that. Kyle just wants her way. She doesn't do well with no, and Kathy said that also. But hey. What can we do? Moving on, y'all. Sutton then mentions at the same event or whatever they were doing, having lunch, that Kyle, um, Garcelle brings up something to Kyle basically and tries to compare the situations. And as always, Kyle is like, nope, yeah, it's a little different because yours involved infidelity. And Sutton was like, well, so did you, Kyle. You dealt with
I
infidelity
said,
too. I said, okay, Sutton,
you
here
better
you
tell that
go.
lady business.
Tell the
I
truth and
know
share
that's
the
right.
business. And Kyle tried to play slow. And I love how Sutton and the new housewives in later seasons have been putting Kyle in situations where she's so uncomfortable. You could just see her like, I'm just not going to say anything. Maybe she'll get the picture. She tried to play slow like she didn't understand. And this is where producers show receipts of Kyle talking about that at the last reunion. And it's like, why are you keeping what's going on in your marriage a secret? Fire her. If you can't tell us anything, then fire Kyle, as you've done other housewives who have done the same thing. Because this is the weirdest separation ever. He's still FaceTiming her. They talk like everything's cool. He's complimenting how she looked and all of this. I'm like, these people ain't getting no doggone divorce. They're not
No,
getting no divorce. They're just not. But in my opinion, Kyle's reaction, trying to like just say nothing, you're proving that he did cheat on you and that there was infidelity by your response. And I don't think Kyle understands that at all. I think Kyle is used to being the person who may have the most knowledge or the most money. And
hmm
she doesn't, she probably looks down on people to a certain extent, thinking they don't connect that. But any person with a little bit of discernment could see, like, to react that way means that he did cheat. Because if he didn't, you'd be like, no, that ain't happened. What the hell? But she's so, I don't want to say anything. What do I say? If you have to think to construct, then that means he messed up the church's money. That's how I felt. But Sutton calls out that clearly Kyle and PK are closer friends than she tried to make it seem. Kyle took no accountability about this and stated that she don't trust Dorit. I'm like, huh? Did that make sense to you?
no,
I, I want Kyle gone. I don't even want to talk about this no more. She's just the hot mess express of lies and deflection. That's literally Kyle. Uh, Moving on, y'all, because there's only so much I could say. Kyle did everything I expected her to do. Did you have anything you'd like to add?
no, we can move on.
Shani says, I don't think Kyle cheated with PK because luck, but I do think he told her some stuff and she told him some stuff. I agree. I don't think they did anything together.
No, yeah, I don't think. First off, yeah, I'm gonna leave my comments on PK alone for tonight. But no, I think that they definitely confided in some stuff, and he's definitely has said some stuff about Dory to Kyle,
Yep.
and probably vice versa. She probably said something to PK about Mo. We don't know, but at the end of the day, I think he definitely unleashed everything, and I think that that's why Kyle is moving the way she's moving.
Mm,
I
that's a
do.
good point.
I think that that's why. I think that the reason why I can't vindicate her on that is because of how she's moving on this show in response of that. Because for me, I would have been messy with it. I would
Mm,
have, especially if it had some regarding to me. Oh, I would have been messy and I would have dropped little trinkets here, there, and there.
mm.
Especially because she doesn't bring anything to the show anyway. So yeah, I want to see her sweat. But Kyle's not that kind of person because once again, it's all about her. Why would she give Dorit the satisfaction?
Yeah, it's meant to say not look. Yeah, I agree with that. She doesn't bring anything to the show at all. She wants to be the center of attention, but she's not interesting enough to be on TV, and she's aging terribly. So that's, I mean, that's just what it is. Um, Erica and Dorit are shopping with this interior designer. It is a slap in the face to every victim in California for this woman to be shopping within a very expensive interior designer. You would think you would try showing yourself decorating the home on your own or something, but you got to hire the biggest guy to decorate the smallest townhouse in Beverly Hills. Okay, Erica. Um, but Erica's confessional was cringy to me. It's like it seems she made a comment about Tom, her husband. I'm not gonna call it her ex because they're still married. Um, she made the comment about Tom's ex-wife and when she divorced him. Now, first, Erica made it seem like Tom is this man in power, and she just went with it, and she couldn't just leave him, so it's a big deal. But it sounds like he wasn't so powerful that the previous wives wasn't able to leave, because she said that woman pulled up a Mayflower truck and emptied the house, got him for everything. So why couldn't you do the same? And I
Okay,
feel like she was saying that because she wants the world to see, like, I'm not the only woman that got stuff from the victim money. His ex-wife got a whole semi truck full of
the
stuff. She
difference
ain't
is the
slick.
ex-wife, because remember, she married him in 2000, which meant that the previous wife couldn't have been married to him no further from probably 19. I'm gonna give her 1997 just to be friendly or nice. Uh,
Hmm,
that was at the beginning of the PG&E and all of this when he got involved. So you were his wife at that time. So of course the ex-wife, the second ex-wife, can get a Mayflower and take everything and leave him with no toilet tissue or whatever the hell you see. Of course she could
hmm.
do that because, as again, we don't know what he had back then, but we know what he had when he was with you.
That's the
So
truth.
it's
That is
like,
the
yeah.
truth.
So for her to throw that kind of subtle shade, ma'am, no, cut it out.
Shadi said, girl, she could only afford one piece of furniture in that store. That's a baby. That's the other thing. She's spending what little cash on hand that she has to be shopping for stuff. She live within your
I
means.
wouldn't be buying nothing. I wouldn't even buy clothes anymore. When I tell you I would rewear that same stuff I got,
Like Dorit,
I
I'm
would,
gonna have to look in my closet and get some vintage Chanel because we know that they're in a pickle financially.
right. When I tell you I would have Dollar Tree cups, plates, forks, washing dishes. When I tell y'all I would have the same car I had when I was filming my first season,
Girl, get you a little Swedish plate set from IKEA for $9.
I'm
Ain't
trying to
nothing
tell
wrong
you,
with
I
it.
wouldn't. When I tell you it would be looking like surviving good times up in that place, it would, because I don't want them to think I got a damn thing.
Every time I hear good times, I'm thinking temporary layoffs.
I'm just saying, like Erica, you
Oh.
play it with. I'm telling you, that judge for to look at this episode and go, "Girl, you know you nah."
Erica is actually still, she's not divorced too. I always remind people of this on my lives because she has been found to be liable and responsible for a couple of different things because of her company that she still utilizes being linked and receiving funds from him. So I we'll get to that. But they move on, her and Dorit, to discuss the issue that happened with Kyle and Dorit. And Erica did acknowledge the double standard that's there with Kyle, which I did appreciate. Now we move on to another scene and we see Bose prepping to have surgery. She's having surgery but I love it. She knew hanging in a child life. What they say, easy credit rip off. If you know, you know.
I can't stand y'all.
I love good times. Still to this day, I do. I really do. I love good times. I will forever watch it. She got me chuckling though. But yeah, I'm trying to tell you that they discussed the Erica and Dorit thing, and Kyle and Dorit issue. And Erica does admit that there is a double standard with Kyle. She expects to get what she does not give in friendships, which is irritating. But Bose is having surgery and she has fibroids. It's actually extremely common in African American women. Fibroids are more common and more severe. She says she got a fibroid about the size of a grapefruit and several others. And the reason she's choosing to have this fibroid surgery versus letting them be, it sounds like, is so that she can be able to carry a child. And she's 47 years old. She looks great, but she's
He does.
47 years old. So she's closer to the change than someone 37 years old. And so having a child is more risky. It's also getting to a point to where she, is kind of running out of time depending on when her body hits menopause. Every woman is different. Her boyfriend's 48. He has no children, so having kids is very important to him. He must have been extremely career driven.
Right, I was gonna say, I'm like, sir, you would have thought, somewhere in that mid 30 to late 30s that you would have considered this. So at least by 40, it could happen. But
Right.
you waited all this time, and then Bo's like, baby, that's not gonna be easy. Like, I don't understand why. I want couples who decide to have babies this late in life. I want y'all to look at adopting versus putting your bodies through all of this torture that you can probably, God forbid, go through. I
Oh,
want
well, I'm
you,
glad you're okay now.
yes,
Sorry.
yes, yes. But yeah, I want y'all to start adopting kids. Like, you have the money, you have the resources. There's so many kids in foster care in California. Adopt, change lives. I was just looking at this couple, this white couple that got this little cute little boy, the little black baby, and he's the cutest thing. Y'all start adopting.
I think, especially in the Black community, we should be open to adopting more because a lot of children who are African American in the U.S. Struggle to get adopted.
Yes.
So I always encourage Black people to look into adoption. Listen, I'm 32. If I ain't got one coming out the snatch by 35, I told my husband that's gonna be the option. I think that's what they should have done to support your point further, because Bose is 47 and has a baby already, right? She's got a daughter. So she's good. And she made it seem as though she's doing this more so for him, because he wants to have kids that actually have his DNA, which I can understand. However, if you are 48 choosing to date a 47-year-old woman, you cannot, and I don't think that is fair for Bose's boyfriend to put the pressure on her to carry a child, not just carry, to conceive, one, and to carry, and then to safely deliver that child at 47 years old. It's been done, Halle Berry, Kim Fields, but it's like that's not for everybody. Sometimes there could be health risk as well. And then, as Shani just said, starting all over at almost 50 with a brand new pregnancy, who the hell would want to do that? I don't even have kids, but if I'm 50, I ain't
Yeah,
doing that.
me either. I don't have the energy at all. But I'm just saying because me and Mrs. Beth were on the same plan, wavelength. I'm not married yet, but after 35, which is in a couple of months for me, it's adoption time. I'm not
Mhm.
going to have any biological children. I'm just not about to do it. I'm not about to put myself through all that. So I'm going to get 3 little babies. I would like to find a set of twins in foster care, and then I want a little girl.
Mm.
I actually would like to do surrogacy for my little girl. Um,
No worries, Shonique. Welcome in.
yes, because I would love to, because I want to name my baby girl. So I think I'm gonna do that.
Mm. Well, well,
But y'all
well.
gotta like and subscribe to my channel to get these subscribed so I get this YouTube check.
The link is in the description of the video, Lord. He said, I got to get there somehow. It's so
Yes.
expensive surrogacy, but I hope that you're able to achieve that.
Thank
Hell,
you,
if
friend.
anything, get your credit up. Get a loan. Hell. But she has her surgery. She wants to have a baby. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But I do wish her the best. It seems like her and this dude really care
I
about each
just have
other.
another thing to say before we move on. Can we
Yeah.
get married first, Bose?
Mm,
Man, Keely, whatever your name is. Can we get married first?
I
Can we
think
have some binding paperwork before we talk about having children?
when I was in school for my degree, they were talking about like generational trends, not like of specific like families, but just of the different generations, millennials, Gen Z, baby boomers. And they're finding that as time goes on, people are just focused on having their kids versus the marriage part. And then the other half of people are like focused on not having kids because of all that they saw from previous generations. So it's all over the place, but it Bose seems like the type of woman who, when she gets a man, is just going to be agreeable to everything. She just gives that. That worries me a little bit, but at the same time, she a big girl child. She a big girl. Shani is agreeing. Yes, exactly. Married with a prenup. I love the comma naturally. I love it.
No,
She
Bose
has a
has
lot
a
to
lot. She has a
lose.
lot to lose. No, she does. I don't know what Keely got, but I know Bose has a lot. Like she just opened a new business.
Mm.
She has been in almost every Fortune 500 magazine I have seen. So no, she has a lot to protect. So no, absolutely prenup from all the way from 1995. Yes.
Yeah, not all the way to 19. Shadi said, I did not like the fact that she got the surgery so she can have a baby for him. Girl, get the surgery because these fibroids are uncomfortable and painful.
I
Boom.
mean, two things could be true. She could have did that for that reason as well.
I think, though, with fibroids being so common, yes, you can get them removed. Yes, you can have kids even after having them. However, you're on a platform, so try and at least explain the other reasons because you don't want to just do something like this for a man, especially one that ain't committed to you by giving you a ring or anything. Like there's not even an engagement ring. So it's for me, she could have showed the other side of fibroids, but you could tell Bravo just wanted to show her glammed up and still willing to meet with people and things of that nature. Bravo
Mhm.
needs to learn how to give people sick time. Hell, it's California, ain't it? They not following the rules. Um, but after the surgery, Kyle comes by. And I mean, after the surgery, we see this man helping her out the car and onto the couch and all this crazy stuff. And then next thing you know, is Kyle coming by. She says, smoking my weed and drinking my kombucha on vacation while listening to y'all. Where you at? Now that's a
I
Wednesday
love
evening.
that.
Where are you vacationing at? My little sister has started making kombucha. Like she does things like that. She's very crafty. But my husband loves it. People love kombucha. I struggle getting it down my throat. But smoking your weed, enjoy your California sober, my darling. Enjoy it. Manhattan Beach, California, a vibe, a vibe. I hope you enjoy your vacation. I don't know if you're from California or not. I cannot remember. But the best part about living in California, whether you're from here or not, you can go on so many like mini vacays without having to leave your state, and it is a whole blessing. I love it. She said, looking at the computer in the ocean as we speak. I love that. Shani said, I'm doing the same in my living room. Chilling. That's what it's supposed to be, like a quick little kiki, smoke your weed. That's why I stay off camera because I got my little stizzy pin myself. But you know, YouTube be tripping on me. So that's what I'll say. Shout out to Stizzy. Endorse me. Please. Lord, James, you don't smoke.
I don't, y'all. It's not for
Never really
me. Yeah,
has.
you know, it's not for me. Sorry.
But James is great to drink with. I'm telling you, I last saw James years and years ago because we live in different states. But when I say I hadn't seen him a year since high school, got out to Arizona with him, that is a person to drink with. He will sing the songs with you. He will carry you into a car if you can't walk, and he will take you to any drive-through you request. He got the job done. That's all I'm gonna
Yes.
say. But it was the
Yes.
singing of the songs that got me. Oh, she said this is eerie. I mean, it's literally Stizzy, the white pouch. Hey, I'm a true Bay Area native. I'm trying to tell you. I'm always at Stizzy. They're around the corner from my job, and now they be seeing me at work. If I'm a social worker, I'd be in the field. I was walking with my supervisor, and someone from Stizzy was like, "What's up, Amina?" She just looked at me. I was like, "Bitch, it's California. It's legal. Don't look at me like that." I hope she don't watch this video because they're starting to discover my YouTube channel. Anywho. But yeah, Kyle comes over and makes fool of herself at Bose's house. She just wants to look innocent. James, I know you thought the same thing when Kyle came through that door. I'm like, girl, you just here to make yourself look better.
I feel like that's true, but also it was to make sure she kept this facade of it only being screenshots of emojis and motivational quotes or whatever it is she's sending this man. I kind of felt like it was damage control on her part so that Bose won't immediately have an opposition against her. That's really what I thought this
Mm,
was.
strategic.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's smart. I would say it is smart because, you know, Bose is coming off as impressionable. She is watching everybody, but as I said, she's only aligned herself with one person. And it is a little disappointing to see it because I would think that she would make rounds with everybody. But the season is still early, so she still can do that. But yeah,
I also agree with this. Kyle is mad that she's not the head click in charge
it
anymore.
is very much Sutton.
That is what's happening. We
It
watching
is
her
very
just
much Sutton.
melt.
Sutton is in charge of the girls.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's why I love Sutton, and she's my favorite housewife right now. Because even when she mess up, she's still
And
Sutton's
that's what
always
makes her my favorite housewife as well, because she can mess up. Like Sutton can get on my nerves. She really can. But when I tell you Sutton delivers like no
mm-hmm.
other housewife across any franchises, with the exception of probably Mary Cosby and um there's one other one that I'm thinking of that delivers and just does it well. But Sutton delivers.
She does. She
Yes.
absolutely does. She absolutely does. Now, this is funny, y'all, because Bose makes a good point to Kyle when trying to talk to her about Dorit. And she uses herself as an example, explaining that she is the extroverted person and she's got like over 100 different best friends. And she says, but one of her best friends seems to think that like it's like an exclusive thing. Like she's the only best friend, right? And or not Sutton, ooh, Lord. Bose compares that to Dorit and says that it seems like Dorit may feel like she's the only best friend that Kyle had, like the main close friend, which I actually agree with because it does seem like Dorit was really upset when Kyle downplayed their friendship, which I would be too. But Kyle also says that Dorit never mentioned her husband and having an issue with this or their problems to Kyle. Bullshit. That's the first lie. Because we have watched Dorit try to like confide in Kyle about her marital issues because she didn't trust the rest of the group. We've seen Dorit try to confide in the whole group about her marital issues, but they didn't care because she talked too much and for too long. So for Kyle to sit there and act like she never knew of any of this is BS. And Bowles made another good example when Bowles was like, when I first met Dorit, the first things he said to me is, I'm going through this. My husband's an alcoholic. I'm going through that. And this is why, so on and so forth. So she had just met me. And Bose goes, but you were her close friend and you never knew anything? Something ain't right. Kyle going into situations thinking she's smarter than people just because she have money is starting to catch up to her. And that's what I feel is happening personally. James nodding his head, yes. Because I'm like, this woman was in corporate America for years and years, successful as a minority and as a woman, and thrived at a time, especially where people of color were not doing things like that.
People of
And
color
you think,
couldn't do anything like that. That's why I'm saying this lady is so like beyond.
mm-hmm,
And that's why I'm always going to protect, even though I'm side eyeing her a little bit. This episode, I'm actually warmed up to her a lot more. But it was kind of like, okay, personally, I don't know what I'm getting from you, lady. I need to watch you. But professionally, this lady's resume is untouchable.
mm,
Untouchable. Can't nobody touch this. Not man nor woman can touch this lady's resume.
mm. I agree. I'm cracking up at Sherry's comments. Sutton is an honest toe, and all her hoes are honest.
Yeah. You see her click.
Shanique said, Shanique said that's exactly right. That's why I don't think it was the smartest thing to go over to Bose's and pretend like she was paying her a simple visit. The whole thing was weird. Like you ain't cared to get to know her before, but now suddenly you do because you look bad.
Hmm.
Crazy. Bose clocked Kyle's motives immediately. Bose is used to the maneuvering. Yeah, I think she isn't. It's you're kind of confirming what Dorit's been saying also by going over there, Kyle. But Kyle is only thinking of herself and nothing else,
Yep.
which is crazy. Which is crazy. But Kyle then tries to bring up Dorit and Mauricio and the rumors of those two allegedly being together, which we've all seen and heard and joked about. Um, but Kyle trying to act like she's angry at that. And I hollered, like actually hollered, and had to pause and rewind when Bo said to the confessional, you know, Kyle is really angry. And I don't know if you guys know, black people My beautiful black people, I know we know this term, a hit dog on holler. But I loved Bose because she knew what platform she was for breaking it down for our clearer complexion friends to understand. She said, and Kyle is hollering. I hollered because Kyle is trying to act like she's innocent and has not been impacted by any of the words.
Yeah.
But she very much so is impacted, and she very much so is not innocent. So much to the fact that she felt she has to go to the house of somebody she don't know after sending flowers to talk to them so that she could clear her name. So I was so happy when Bo said that. I loved it because it was true. I feel like James loved it too.
Absolutely. That's why I said I warmed up to her more this episode because I actually saw because I was going to put her in that category with that other black lady that was here last season, but she's coming through. She's coming. She's coming around, y'all. She's coming around.
She probably is the type that is observing, takes her time. Like I'm like that. I'll take a really long time to observe stuff, but still be cool with people. But if I'm extra cool with somebody, I'm going to observe and still maintain that coolness with them, try and be beside them. But in this scene with Bose, I actually saw her trying to understand Kyle's point of view, trying to understand her perspective. But Kyle just came looking all sorts of shady. So,
Right, because she tried way too hard for me because I saw right through that.
right. It's the truth. That is the truth. Now, Kyle Sutton and Garcelle, they kidnap Erica and take her to Chuck E. Cheese because Erica was crying about a pizza party. They discussed their marriages that are all ending. And I agreed with Garcelle, with Kyle and Mauricio, each not knowing what they want. Um, I do think they're having actual issues in their relationship. I don't think we'll ever know what those really are because Kyle is not forthright. But I do not deny that Kyle and Mauricio have had issues. I just don't think their issues are enough to divorce. And until she's ready to tell us something, I'm going to stick to that story. What else am I supposed to do? Like, I'm gonna stick to the story. So Garcelle made a very good point, but I cracked up again when Garcelle asked Kyle. She says, if you want to be a lesbian, Kyle, be a lesbian. I said, you know what? Garcelle, no, Carl. I used to think Kyle might have wanted to be a lesbian. I don't think she does. I think Kyle is smart and calculated at times. And I think that she utilized her relationship and friendships with other people to keep us off of like,
Yeah,
why are
the
they
real issue.
divorcing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, in my opinion, a way to like get people focused on something else instead of being worried about the reason. Because people were wondering, why is Kyle and Mauricio split up? What's going on with Kyle and Mauricio? She don't want to say nothing. And then next thing you know, she's everywhere with Morgan Wade. Now she's got Kesha. And I'm like, Kyle, you ain't slick. You ain't slick. She said, what happened, Kyle? He got an outside baby. I feel like that might be what's going on. But I feel like if that was the case, she would have really divorced him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kyle and how much she cares about how people think, she would have left that man. It's a personal thing. But yeah, she would have left. I think he just cheat a lot. She said, I screamed when she said that. Crack it up. I'm trying to tell you. These people are funny to a certain extent. Now, this is where things get interesting, y'all, because Kyle shows her phone to Sutton and Garcelle in an effort to like prove herself as being innocent. And I'm like, why would you show your phone to Sutton and Garcelle when Kyle, you've had issues with Sutton several times, have been a bad friend to her. You've questioned Garcelle on things. I'm like, now suddenly you interested in being a friend again because everybody else calling out your BS. Kyle ain't slick. She said somebody gave him that little boy. Shonique said, here's what I clocked with the pizza party. And this says so much about Kyle and Sutton. The party was not about Erica. Otherwise, they would have invited Dorit. That is the truth. That is actually a good point. That's a really good point because they should have invited Dorit if it was for Erica. But why did they even do this for Erica? Like, what was the point?
I think here's the thing. I think that because of where Kyle and Dorit are, it would have been weird to have them two there because they don't want a repeat of what happened at that lounge. So I think I understood to some degree why they didn't invite Dorit because Sutton is not that cool with Dorit. Garcelle's not that cool with Dorit, so it kind of makes it the odd man out kind of situation. So I actually respected them for not inviting her and having her
Mm,
be uncomfortable around them.
understandable. That actually makes sense. Because then you also have to think Chuck E. Cheese, they can't be acting a fool around the kids,
Right, around the kids, exactly.
not
Now, it
around the
would have been the
babies.
ideal situation because Dorit could have bought her kids and they could have played in, Chuck E. Cheese, but at the same time, they don't want to see her mama acting out like that. So, yeah.
Lord, this lady already leaving thousands on shopping carts. Like we can't, we don't need to put her in no more stressful situations.
Right.
Uh, the next thing that happens is the text. Yes, the text. Ooh, the text was.
That's
I was happy as hell that she shared that text because it is the one thing that is finally going to expose Kyle, and she's kind of exposing herself, which I love. She shows a text proving that she does not only text PK, but she reached out to him first. And then in the text, she was like, and don't worry, nothing that you shared with me will ever get out. I need somebody to go through Kyle's whole phone.
I know. I need someone to release some text messages because now I need to know what was said.
How you end up closer with your friend's husband than you are your friend? And
And to
you
me, I
so
thought maybe she thought revealing those text messages would have like vindicated her in some way, but it actually incriminated you even more because now you left out a whole lot of context that you did not say
Mhm.
before.
And there were other texts prior when they
Yes, I
showed
saw that there.
the
I saw
song.
the screen. I zoomed in. I said, "Oh, Kyle, there's more than just emojis and what's the other shit called? GIFs and all. It's more than that in that phone."
Yeah, it was a lot more in that phone. And if she'll keep secrets for people and keep it from the press with PK, who else is she gonna do that for? I'm sure for herself. I'm sure for other people. Uh, all them. I'm trying to tell you, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. The text to me was damning and got her into some stuff. Shani said, "Let me find out. Kyle know who PK in the streets with. She do.
Yes, she do.
She do.
Hmm.
And obviously, he in the streets with somebody that she knows, and he knows that the population, the regular populated America, ain't ready to
No,
know about.
no, Shani, I didn't see it. That was my point. I said there's more than just that, if there is that, because we didn't see. Of course, we can't see the whole entire thread, but no, I didn't see one.
Where are the emojis? That's a good question. There wasn't an emoji or a picture, but she picked up and showed the memes real quick. But you can show memes. I sent people, like, I got coworkers that add me on Instagram that I'm getting to know. And you don't have to know somebody too well to send a meme and laugh. You just don't. You just don't. We all be in the shade room. We all be on TikTok for now. We all be, on these different apps and stuff, looking at the same things, commenting on the same things. So, I mean, to me, I knew Kyle was lying. We know Kyle is full of poop emoji. She's full of poop emoji. There you go. There's an emoji. Now, we then see Garcelle meet with Bose. And I said, oh, the two sisters is going to meet.
When I tell you, I this was everything that I wanted and more. This is what made me feel better about Bose was Garcelle and her meeting up.
You could tell when Bose gets around Garcelle and vice versa. And I am not trying to exclude anybody, but let me tell y'all, in my office where I work, there's 5 Black people. I am one of them. And you could just tell, like, there's just a certain safeness with communicating with each other. Like, okay, she gonna give me the low down and the down low in the right way, in the right direction at the right time. And you could just tell they was waiting to talk to each other. And I'm so glad that they are working together versus against each other the way that she, who shall not be spoken, who disrespected medical doctors last season. If I come, I'm gonna say this, and I don't care how anyone feels about it. From my clear friends, I'm so sorry. I love y'all too. But if I come into a space and I see that not only am I an African American, but there's not very many of us, and we're already a minority, and now we're the minoritized minority. Yes, I'm making up words. Like, I'm not going to turn my back on them. I'm not going to go against them. Now, if they do something wrong, I'm just mind my business, but I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I'm just not. I'm going to stick beside my people. My daddy was a Panther. I'm going to do it. That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. So I was happy to see them come together and just chat. even though they kind of both have different perspectives and relationships in the group, they still was able to come together and be positive. And we have not gotten that on Beverly Hills yet. We had not with people of color. So I really appreciated it. But Garcelle spilled all the tea. She let her know, like, listen, Dorit it is, and Garcelle don't even like Dorit, but she's like, Kyle is kind of wrong. And tells her of the text that it's like it's clear that she lying.
No,
And
it was
Bose
how
saying,
Bose. No, it was Bose's face. Like Bose, like I know this happened, did not just come up my house and just lie to me like this.
yeah. She said brought her Jamaican food from the spot with the styrofoam containers. You know it was good. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. She said, I'm an MD of in a private practice of 12 partners. There is one Black one,
Oh
and we will
my
definitely
gosh!
look out.
Shout
Yes,
out to the y'all. We got so many MDs that reach out to us. Shout out to y'all.
we have, though. In recent times,
We
we have.
do. There's at least 4 that I know of on the channel so far. I think Shanique's number 5.
Oh, the Shanique was the first one for MDs that we had last season. That was the doctor that had commented.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so it's number. Okay, so she's number 1. So we have now 5. Yeah, 5.
I love it because everybody who's come across our channel who are doctors, have their doctorates, or actual practicing medical doctors have all been African American. You guys are an inspiration, and I love what you do.
I'm
Keep
trying
doing
to
it.
tell you, yes, y'all are inspirations. I love it. As I said, I don't know what kind of doctor I want to be yet, but I'm definitely going to it.
You'll achieve all that you put your mind to.
Mrs. Best wants me to do behavioral science, and I'm not into it.
Behavioral science is annoying. I'm in it, and I don't like it, but I don't want to be a doctor. I just want the advice of one or find one to slice me open and put me back together. But, you know, she said, get it right, James. Oh, Lord. Shanique said, yes, I think the last 2 Black women on the show dropped the ball. Agreed. Agreed. They've struggled with that on Beverly Hills, but I maybe they listened to Garcelle a little bit to get it right. But to go back to your point, James, you could tell from Boza's face that when Garcelle came to her, she actually received the information. Because regardless of how Garcelle feels about a person, she doesn't you generally just explain things from her personal bias.
She doesn't, and I'm kind of mad she didn't. And let me explain why. I really wanted her to not necessarily impose Bose when it came to Dorit, but just simply ask her how would she feel if microaggressions from this individual was pointed at her, how would she deal with that? Because by imposing that on her, you'll understand why Garcelle is guarded against her versus it coming off as just a mean girl spirit because she's aligned with Kyle and Sutton, who are giving that same energy towards her. That's all I'm saying.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I also feel like Garcelle, though, making any like personal comments, especially with how Bose has been like so overtly biased toward with Dorit. Like I feel like maybe she was treading lightly, but I get what you're saying. Sometimes she does need to like just express how she feel,
Mm-hmm.
like in the moment, not in the
Because
confessional.
Garcelle's not wrong. Like she's not. That's why I'm like, I would kind of put not necessarily 2 batteries in her back, but one, hoping she would find the other one and then get activated because it's going to happen. Like Dorit
Mm.
is going to turn on this lady. So I just hope she's prepared. Which she seems like she is. So
Yeah,
but
I think she'll be okay when she's turned on. Hell,
yeah.
because it happened. You better tell the
Mhm.
truth and shame the devil. It'll happen. But that is about it, beautiful people, for this episode. Not much happened. Let me catch the final comment. That's a good point, and I hope that would yield to a greater conversation between Garcelle and Dorit, because I think Garcelle secretly would be open to reinitiating a cordial space with Dorit. Yeah, I think she would too.
I feel like she's tried that. And
Mm.
somehow Dorit finds a way to mess up the arrangement. Because I think I've seen Garcelle try to have this open dialogue with her that there's certain things that she felt that Dorit was not aware of that she would either say or that she would either act on. And I feel like Garcelle has tried to bridge that gap. So I don't want Garcelle to realistically try to reinitiate a cordial space. I want Dorit to try to initiate the cordial space in the way that is understood between them both. So that's
Yeah.
how I feel.
Yeah, Dorit's going through something with her divorce, but she's still the same biased, slightly racist lady. So that's gonna take some time. She's more mad at how she was painted to be racist and how that impacted her than actually taking a step to look at her actions and try to understand what she did.
Well, because
But
to be honest with you, there's no much difference between Bose and Garcelle. There's not much difference. So
mm,
I just feel like if you could do it with her, you can do it with Garcelle as well. And you should, and this is the energy you should have had with Garcelle from the beginning, but you didn't. So that's why I'm saying I want Dorit to do it. If anybody's going to initiate that cordial space, I want Dorit to do it.
mm, see, Lord, I think that's fair though. She should. She should. I don't think she will, but she should be the one to
No,
do it.
she
That's
won't.
the only way Garcelle will be able to trust that it's genuine,
Yep.
if that makes sense. Oh Lord. All right, y'all. I've been with y'all for 3 hours with James. I actually had a lot of fun today. You guys made a day turn to joy. So I appreciate all of you beautiful people for that. I also appreciate everybody for being in the chat, Shani and Shonique. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Enjoy it. Smoke as much as you can. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but you know what I mean. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. We will be back again on James's channel tomorrow. Yes, the Housewives of Salt Lake City is on right now, which means we're gonna be on his channel. So check the link in the description if you don't know how to get there.
Yes. Yes,
All
I'm
right.
about to watch it now. So I'll see you guys later.
All right. Have a good day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye bye.